What's up, YouTube? Another video with the big Ford here with the 6.2. This is a video that's gonna probably save some people a whole lot of trouble. One of the things that's, for over the years, I've picked up a few quirks with this engine, this truck, but for the most part, it's super solid. But one of the things with it being an older truck now, it's a Michigan truck, and stuff corrodes out and rusts, and you can start to see there's some rust, forming every which where. But the most recent issue is I came outside and I had red fluid on the ground, which is, transmission fluid. What I ended up having was the line running from my trans cooler back to the transmission. So it was pretty long, pretty much ran the whole width underneath the truck. Kind of a pain to do, but I'm just going to give you guys a quick synopsis of it, and you can make a determination if it's something you want to fix on your own or not. But it'll start to drip shortly before the line. Typically they don't just blow, they'll start dripping, and you got to recognize that right away, because if you drive this thing with that line blown, you're only going to get a quarter of a mile and you just burned up your trans. And these are older trucks now, they're obviously going to be out of warranty and you're screwed. This was a reasonably cheap part for this, but it's kind of a special order. You're going to have to get it from a Ford dealer, and that's really what you're going to want to do. It's going to fit right, so I would get it from a Ford dealer. It's a super long hose. It's all, whatever this is, aluminum, I think. And like I said, it runs all the way to the back. But you can kind of see a little bit of it right there. To do this, you actually want to have this truck on a lift. I would seriously consider, if you don't have access to, if you can spring for a little bit more cash and you have access, and you don't have access to a lift, you can do it without just using jack stands and everything, but you're going to have to actually release tension on the axle so you can fit this hose up through. And it's a very easy job to do if you got the right equipment. So it's not a super labor intensive, it won't cost a lot. You're probably going to have as much or more line or cost in the line itself than in the actual repair if you take it to a shop. But ultimately, just keep in mind, keep an eye out for it. You see right under the truck, you gotta, most likely you have right at this point you have a leak on it. So it's very easy. Lift your hood up, take a look, you'll find it. You can actually turn it on and see it probably dripping out if it's bad enough. And keep in mind, a lot of guys will actually break, they're getting this, where is it at? There's a clamp in here that you need a special tool to get it off, and I'll include all that in the links and what you need to do if you're going to do it yourself. But a lot of times guys taking this off, they'll break it off here, and then you've got to replace the whole intercooler. So just be smart and wise about it. And like I said, you're going to need that tool, and you want to buy a steel one. You don't want to buy one of the cheap plastic ones, because they're a one-time use at best. So it's only literally a couple dollars more. So get a good one. They're real cheap. I mean, if you go to a shop, you're going to be able to do this, avoid the headache. It shouldn't be more than $400 or $500. Probably less than that. Just shop around. It doesn't need to be a Ford dealer that does this. It's a pretty simple replacement. Like I said, you could do it on your own, but you just want to be wise in the where you do it at, and the tools you have, because it does need to be a semi-flat surface, especially when you're filling your trans cooler up, or not your trans cooler, but the transmission up, because you're obviously going to lose some fluid in the process, and you probably lost a little when you found the leak. So quick synopsis of it. But anyway, there's other videos out there that actually walk through it, but this is more of a diagnostic purpose video, tell you guys what's wrong, how to fix it, and hopefully if you got what I got, this big 6.2s on the road. But again, this is the same setup as you would have in the 3.5 EcoBoost and the the 5-liter, probably not in the 3.7, but and actually the lines are different in the 5 liters and the 3.5s, but for all extensive purposes they're very similar in the way they're snaked through, which there is not a lot of room. They barely give you enough room to snake it through. So again, that's why being under the truck, I did it without a lift, and so it's doable, but it's one of those times when I really wish I would have had a lift, or I would have just paid someone else to do it. So be prepared. There's the model number of this Ford part, and you could snap a photo of it and flip it around if you want to for this other part. But yeah, there it is. Pretty simple, but it will save you thousands if you can recognize this leak, or if you just notice it looks really bad, replace it right away. But anyway, I like making these. If you like it, give me a like, thumbs up, and you know, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll get more as we try and keep this thing alive forever. Take care, all.